Aloha.
I'm learning. Hello and welcome. We're back. It's a Baller Lifestyle Podcast. It's a little different now that we're on video. So it's a little more urgency here because I know you guys can see us. Also, Ed and I somehow both wore yellow shirts. What are the odds of that? I think I own like 2 yellow shirts and I'm wearing one. Ed's also wearing a yellow shirt. Okay, of course, I'm Brian Beckner, joined as always by Ed Daly. Ed, what's up, dude?
Yeah, our cycles are aligning. We're doing it.
Yeah, it's like that one episode of Married with Children where they went camping, and and Marcy and Kelly and what's the mom's name?
Peg.
All their cycles aligned, and it was the worst camping trip ever for Al Bundy. If you guys, so there was some confusion last week, and look, I'll just tell you this. So we're doing the podcast on YouTube now, right? A lot of people watched. It's great. We're building ourselves there, but it's new. We continue to do the show on the just regular ass audio format, which is how I consume 99% of the podcasts I listen to. I'm a listener. I'm not.
I don't watch podcasts at all.
Me either. I don't either.
But they cater. Yeah. They cater to people watching. They're always talking about, oh, they're filming this and that. I'm like, and as you can see on the screen, I'm like, no, I can't. Yeah. I listen to things while I'm doing things.
Yeah, same. Yeah, same. And I talk about that a lot here. Like if people listen to us when they're mowing the lawn or at the gym or whatever. And like, I was just out. I'm glistening here. Hold on. I'm glistening here, Ed, because I'm back on the 75 hard. So just before we started, I went out. I changed the shirt because
weighted vest.
I didn't do the vest today. I'm working back up to the vest, but I'd sweated through my shirt, so I put on a different shirt. But I'm glistening here because also it's a sweat box. So last week, here's what I got a lot of. How come the show's only 30 minutes? So our Red Circle subscribers, and if you're inclined to support the show, I encourage you to click the link in the show notes, sign up there, because the way we do it now is we do the regular show, which is the YouTube version and the regular show. But we still give the audio version of the regular show to our Red Circle subscribers a day early with no commercials, usually, unless I mess up. But also, every week, Ed and I do a bonus audio only show.
We're givers.
Just for the Red Circle subscribers. So every week, Red Circle fans, you get 2 shows delivered to your podcast app. If you can't figure out how to see and hear both of those things in your podcast app, I cannot help you. And by I cannot help you, I don't think you should continue on this planet. Because
we don't want to help you.
No, we don't. No, you're not worth it. The one says bonus. So that bonus show is called bonus, and then the regular one's just called regular. But if you only see one, you got to just look. There's one before it. There's the regular one comes out, and then the bonus 2, one, and then the other. They're both there.
It's not that hard.
It's not hard at all, Ed. Anyway, we appreciate our bonus content.
It's not 75 hard.
No, it's not. No, we started. Also, my cousin got married way up in the Sierra Nevada mountains this weekend.
That sounds nice.
It was really beautiful, Ed, and it was a very nice wedding. But you know how it is when you know it's like your last shot.
Hurrah.
Yeah, for a while. And you go, well, I know I'm about, like, I can have as much as I want this weekend because I'm gonna be a soldier for the next 2.5 months.
Because the faucet's being turned off.
Yeah. But I had that faucet on, Ed. And I'm in a tiny, beautiful, tiny little mountain, quaint, picturesque mountain town where I don't really got anything to do until 4:00 on Saturday. So, I hit the brewery. I'm hanging out. I'm hanging out
Sierra Nevada.
Yes, I'm sitting outside. I'm drinking. And then yesterday I drove home 6 hours, Ed, and
that's far.
It was a tough drive. Came home, did my 75 hard, but I'm back into it. I'm back in the 75 hard. I think I'm a little extra sweaty this week from the alcohol, but we're in a dry period. Yeah, so I'm feeling better. Tell me.
While I'm not doing 75 hard,
yes,
I was in a situation where too much was consumed. A friend of mine.
Oh yeah.
He works in the kind of stage production. I'm not sure exactly. Oh, he does like concerts and stuff.
Oh, to one of the many musicals you like to attend. This is how you're always getting hooked up at Rent, the Lin-Manuel Miranda one, all of those.
Yeah, not exactly that.
Okay.
Keep in mind, Michelle is in advertising, so
yes,
that was when Michelle's like, "Oh, we got free tickets to Rent." I'm like, "All right, I'll go," and I was like, "This is the final show I'm ever going to."
Yes.
But it was summer stage or summer fest. It's Central Park every summer, and they have and it was like the Roots and
nice
and whatever, Jungle Brothers and all this. But we had VIP free. Me and some buddies VIP when you're paying nothing at the bar at the like we had a private bar. We didn't have to go. And then I see how it happens. I found myself like literally and figuratively looking down at the poors, the people who paid to get in there, and they're all and like we're sitting there drinking on like an elevated stage to the left of the performance stage, and we're looking at like, look at those poor bastards, just all jammed in there, and it must take them forever to go get a beer and stuff. And we're just like, free, piss. Yeah. It was amazing. It was so good. And like, I only knew a couple of songs.
Who cares?
It didn't matter. It's like you're just hanging out at a bar. Everything's free.
How when everything's later?
Free.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had all the beers.
Yeah.
All the beers.
Yeah.
And it's like anything goes. You're at a hip hop concert. There's weed to be consumed. There's everything there, and you're like, everything. Wow, I really did a number on myself. The bike ride on Saturday morning was something else.
Yeah, because we're much like Roger Murtaugh, we're too fucking old for this shit.
Yeah, and I like I said, I don't get hungover, but Saturday morning,
you're feeling
hungover.
Yeah, we're getting older. Speaking of that, I've been doing it's Bachelor season. We're in the Bachelor season. The Bachelorette is currently
They do it always at the same place?
No, they go all different places.
I thought they'd like camp out at the same.
No, they go. Well, they did that during the COVID-19 pandemic, but they go around. But usually it's the Bachelorette goes to like more budget places, and the Bachelor goes to like the better places,
bigger ratings.
Yeah. And they go and they'll bounce. They'll go like the Bachelor will go, we're going to Ireland, and then they'll go, we're going to Thailand. They're like they're really jet setting around, and the Bachelorette will be like, guys, have you ever been to Cleveland, Ohio? And then sometimes, or they'll go Puerto Rico. Yeah, but no, they've been around this year. But so last week we debuted on the video aspect of the show.
Okay.
And I think it looks kind of better. I'm having a hard time telling. I have my bamboo background, but it was real washed out last week because I got this window up here. So I try to do you think it looks better? Do you recall how it looked last week?
I think it looks crisper, the bamboo.
Yeah.
background.
You couldn't tell the bamboo last week.
It was like, I guess because there was a glare on it.
Yeah, there was a glare. So I recall this because we're discussing Roger Merton, Lethal Weapon, a movie that was...
He was too old for this shit, and he was 40.
He was 40, and a movie that was maybe the biggest action movie in history for about 25 years, and we reviewed it on this show. Jay Stu had never seen it. What's this? Yeah. What? Lethal Weapon? Never seen this movie.
And he was like, not even acting like that was a strange thing. Like, it took a long time for me to see Schindler's List, and I recognized...
Yes.
I recognize, like, yeah, I know. It's been a while. I get it. I'm weird for not seeing this.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I got a bunch of movies like that I haven't. I've never seen Schindler's List, but I know that I'm in the minority.
It's great. It's a tough watch.
It's won a lot of Oscars. You know, Liam Neeson. Like, I'm familiar with it. I know it's a big thing, but he was like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess I heard of it.
Just missed it.
So last week I go, hey, we're going to do the Bachelor lifestyle this week, but it's going to be on video. And Jason's like, well, and he does that thing where he never answers I go, are you cool with that being on video? And he'll say something like this. Wow, that's a bold choice. And never,
but you don't know if that's a yes or no.
It's nothing. So I finally he agreed. He's like, should I get one of those ring light things? I'm like, if you want, I don't know. But then it ended up that I wasn't able to do the my very, very custom hang a black sheet over this real high window up here.
Big production.
Before last week's show. So and I thought I was going to have time to do it, but I just had too much stuff going on. So I texted Jason. I go, hey, just next week we'll just go regular audio this week. People that don't subscribe to the Bachelor lifestyle, I would suggest going and listening to it, because the first maybe, and it's a tight 45, that show. Probably the first 25 minutes is just Jason complaining, like close to tears, like just
because he wasn't on video.
Because I had prepped him to be on video, and that was very uncomfortable for him, and he wasn't sure he wanted to do it, and then he was all ready, and then at the last minute I canceled, and I'm like, well, you're ready for next week now.
Right. Well, we just got you ready a week and an hour early.
Yes. You're like, everything's fine. Like, you're all set. And I had to apologize and explain the situation. So I would suggest fans of this show and fans of Jay Stu, go check out about the first half or so. We barely talk any Bachelorette because it's just...
Doesn't roll with the punches.
No, it's just me profusely apologizing for something that I thought was literally no big deal. Not a big deal at all. Anyway. You ready to start?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Here's the other thing. Here's another concern. When I posted the show last week to the YouTubes, we got flagged for our use of George Benson's Give Me the Night. But they allowed it. They said the copyright holder allows its use. So, which is weird because we also have Taylor Swift on this show, and she's got the fucking she's got like every lawyer,
right? An army of lawyers.
Yes, a literal army of lawyers. Like there's nothing but lawyers for, and that didn't get flagged. So I hope that we are still able to use our parody songs here. Luckily we have a lot of original work. But also, we have a number of parodies that we use each and every week that are beloved by both ourselves and the listeners. So just keep that in mind.
It would be weird to not hear these songs.
I know, right?
It would be weird.
It would be weird because I could go back and, early on, these when I went on that. Oh no! When I went on and everyone knows we love the Baller Lifestyle Podcast after show every Friday night on YouTube. Check it out.
Yeah.
They talk about us. They talk about WWE
wrestling, right?
Wrestling. They talk about their favorite porno actors, stuff like that. But when I forgot what I was going to say. when I went on that show, I've completely lost my train of thought. It's something I said on that show. I forgot
about music copyrights.
Oh, yes. Thank you. The great Ben 906, All Lifestyle Podcast bowling correspondent, he's like, oh man, he's like, you must really cringe. Well, he was talking about a certain she who shall not be named. He's like, when you listen to episode 200, you gotta really cringe. I'm like, the fuck do you think I would ever do that? That's terrifying.
Do they think we just go back and listen to random episodes?
I mean, we were so bad. Like, why do I want to go back and be embarrassed of myself? I would never listen to that.
I almost never listened to the show. Yes. But now that we're on video, there's zero chance of me watching myself in video. Yeah, no way.
It's tough. I agree with you. But what we used to do is just play like the opening theme for the song, Dr. Frankenstein theme for the Mad Thinker. That's just a digital rights free song I found on the internet. And we used to play a bunch of those, and there can be some cool ones, but it's definitely the vibe. Our vibe is the vibe of the songs that our dear friend Brad in Florida, and of course the late great Rights of Bill, and also the R.I.P. dude. And Snowjet SST, of course,
still with us.
Yes, he's still with us. So we've got all these beautiful songs. A lot of them are parodies. So fingers crossed, guys. Anyway, Ed, who died?
Just tell us who is dead now. Who died? Breaking news. Who died? Just tell us who is dead now. Who died? It's a sad segment. Very sad.
Very sad.
And it will not be an update on who's alive.
Let's get a tragic update.
Tragic update. Cause Ed Daly has been keeping up on who just died. Cause we're about to hear from Ed on which celebrities are dead. So tell me who died.
Ed, who died this week?
Okay, so we lost the Ravens offensive line coach, Joe Delisandres. He had a surgery earlier in the summer, and they said illness following surgery, 70 years old. He was currently employed. He just got sick this summer.
Kind of a surgery.
I don't know.
O-line coach, probably a big dude.
He didn't look like, you would think some big beefy boy. He didn't look like it. And I saw some posts. They said, he was always laughing and stuff. They loved him.
Very sad.
So
that's terrible. That's very sad. Sorry to hear that.
And then this afternoon, I see we lost WWE legend.
Whoa.
In quotes.
Yeah.
Sid Vicious, 63 years old.
Wait.
Sid Vicious? What?
Wait, hold on.
Not the one who murdered Nancy Spungen and killed himself. Not the Sex Pistol. Yeah. But Sid Vicious would be a cool name for a wrestler. That's not his name.
Hold on.
Okay. You know this guy.
Are you looking at a picture of him? Does he kind of have a blonde perm?
Yes, he does.
Like handsome Harley Race also had a blonde perm?
Does. Yep.
So I know who this Sid Vicious is because there's a very famous meme of him where he jumps to kick somebody, and he plants his foot and his both bones. He compound fractures his legs in the middle of the ring. He stomps. Hold on. I'm pretty sure that's him. So yes, I know. His name is Sid Vicious.
Sid Udy.
Wow.
EUDY.
Stolen valor. Sid Vicious was a tiny little
wispy guy. The only person he could have killed was Nancy Spungen.
Yeah, well, because she was all drugged out. They were
both
so fucked up on heroin they didn't know what was happening.
Right
in the Chelsea hotel.
Yeah, stabbing right. Stabbed her 80 something times. Yes. He's like, I don't know. I think I was sleepwalking.
Yes, quite a few.
Remember, because he was alive for a couple days, right?
No, a while. No, I think months. Well, hold on.
Oh, I thought he killed himself before trial or anything.
Hold on.
So that's a thing that happens. What? Huh? You can't remember it at all. don't think that I can recall. Nope. But that's a thing that happened. Did it really?
Did it really?
Remember if it's true. Nope. Don't recall it. How about you? But that's a thing that happened.
Okay. Hold on. I need to just give me the wiki because I think he lived. I think he was like on trial.
For those who don't really know, Sid Vicious was in the Sex Pistols.
Yes.
British punk band,
Yep.
Anarchy in the UK, God Save the Queen. And then, like, very soon after they broke, like, right away. Like,
they were only around a few years. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he's at the Chelsea Hotel.
Yep. They're fucked up on heroin.
And they're fucked up on heroin. Yep. And his girlfriend, Nancy Spungen, murdered.
Played by what's her name?
Oh, Gary Oldman played him.
He plays Sid.
And Nancy was...
I can't remember. Okay, hold on. Let's get to the real Nancy. October 12th, 1978, Spungen's body was found under the wash basin in the bathroom of their room at the Hotel Chelsea. She had suffered a stab wound to the abdomen. Vicious owned the knife that inflicted the injury, a Jaguar Wilderness K11 with a 5-inch blade. Press misreported the murder weapon as a different knife owned by Vicious. Well, who cares? A 007 hunting knife. What? I mean, that's a weird detail. Vicious shared conflicting stories of the night Spungen died. He was immediately arrested, charged with second-degree murder, and released on bail. 4 months. 4 months after Spungen's death, Vicious died of a heroin overdose prior to his trial taking place. The New York City Police Department closed the case after Vicious' death. She's buried in Bensalem Township, Pennsylvania. Yeah, so he lived a while, and I think he was like about to go on trial, and then...
Yeah, that's from what I remember watching the movie Sid and Nancy. And by the way, I don't know this Chloe Webb. Like, she was on the TV show China Beach, but I thought it was a more famous actress who played
So did I. I felt like it was because she looks like somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So he lived a while after. And this Sid Vicious, from what I've read, was a very, despite his persona, was a very like meek, just like gentle person. Other than the giving her one.
Johnny Rotten. Johnny Rotten's the piece of shit.
Yeah, he's a real piece of shit. Yeah. The Sex Pistols are playing again. It's all the guys: Steve Jones, Paul Cook, Glenn Matlock, but with another dude singing, like a younger guy. And they've just like been doing a series of shows, and it looks pretty fucking cool. And hopefully they do like a...
Sex Pistols are cool.
They're fucking awesome. And
they
I also read Steve Jones's book, and he went from like not being able to play guitar to being like really proficient on guitar in like 4 months, because all he did was take speed all day long and just play until he can play. R.I.P. whoever we were just talking. Oh, Sid Vicious.
The fake
wrestler.
Sid Vicious.
And I encourage everyone to go check out the Sid Vicious meme. Ed, I'll look it up for you right now and send it over, because it's a beautiful meme.
And I hate to report this one.
Tell me.
This afternoon we lost an icon. A man by the name of Scott Thorson, Liberace's lover, dead at 65. Now, that's a thing that happened.
We got to get into that as well, too.
People might not know about this.
We got to get into that.
So that's a thing that happens. What? Huh? Can't remember it at all. Don't think that I can recall. Nope. But that's a thing that happens. Did it really?
What the fuck?
Remember if it's true. Nope. Don't recall it.
Okay, hold on.
You? But that's a thing that happens.
The regular meme page will not let me find the Sid Vicious meme, but everybody knows what I'm talking about, the wrestler Sid Vicious. So, Ed, I remember the first time I was aware of Scott Thorson, I believe, was on an episode of Geraldo, the talk show.
Yeah.
And he was being interviewed. It must have been like around the time Liberace kicked off. And Scott Thorson, I think Scott Thorson might have sued him or something.
Well, yeah, Lee left us kind of like the mid AIDS, like
yeah. Well,
when the news started, like post Rock Hudson, but like you started hearing about people dying of AIDS in the 80s, and I think Lee was
1987.
Yeah, and so I feel like we started hearing about this in like 84, 83.
Yeah, that was.
But he was pretty early in the AIDS.
Yeah, he was. Now wait, did the bug get him? We were assuming. I mean,
I thought so, and that was how we kind of found out about what some of these guys, because we just thought Lee hadn't found the right woman yet. Right? Like that was.
It was.
He never came out. He never came out.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I mean,
he was just he was a natty dresser.
Yeah, Liberace, that's correct. Liberace was secretly diagnosed HIV positive in August 1985 by his private physician, played beautifully by Rob Lowe in the
Behind the Candelabra is a worthwhile watch.
It's so good.
There's so many good acting performances.
Yes, Dan Aykroyd's in there. It is so good. And I think when I tell people about it, I think they think I'm kidding. But Michael Douglas,
like legit great.
Yes, Michael Douglas plays Liberace. Matt Damon, Ed's lookalike, Matt Damon plays Scott Thorson. And Matt Damon, who is a movie star, is a fucking heavyweight actor. Like, he's so good. He's so good. And it's not easy playing Scott Thorson. So for those of you, those of you that don't know, Liberace, he was a gay man, and he was a narcissist, and he was very wealthy.
But next level narcissist.
Yes, yeah. So,
the most narcissistic if you're going to do this move.
Yes. A teenage Thorson met Liberace in 1976 through his romantic friendship with dancer Bob Street, who was staging Liberace's shows in Las Vegas. When Thorson was 18, Liberace hired him to act as his personal friend and companion. And Liberace had a series of these dudes, as many older gay men do. He would have a personal assistant that would see to his needs for a while, and then he'd send him away and get a new one. And so this Scott Thorson stuck around for a while. A position that allegedly included a 5-year romantic relationship with lavish gifts, travel, and Liberace's promise that he would adopt and care for Thorson. Liberace claimed that he had more mink coats and diamonds than Elizabeth Taylor. Liberace also incorporated Thorson into his Las Vegas stage performances. For example, Thorson drove Liberace's Rolls Royce on stage and was a dancer. According to Thorson, their committed relationship ended because of Liberace's promiscuous behavior. This Liberace
could not get enough.
It.
Yeah.
He had insatiable needs, Ed. I mean, and this Scott Thorson was much younger, and he couldn't provide the level of needs.
The young buck didn't have enough in the tank for him.
He just had to keep going and get more. Thorson also claimed that it was Liberace who originally started him on drugs, but when his habit got out of control, Liberace cut him off from all his credit cards. Thorson then stated, following his plastic surgery, so this is the big thing. Liberace,
the main takeaway.
Liberace, there is like a you ever see? Yeah, people like what they like, and sometimes you'll see two gay guys that are like couldn't be more different. One's like the big bear dude, and one's a little twinky dude. Yeah, but sometimes you'll see a couple of gay guys together that look very similar. They got the same haircut.
Same look, same general vibe, but not the same exact look.
Right. They're into guys that are like them.
Yeah.
Well, Liberace was really into guys like him because he had this poor Scott Thorson had multiple plastic surgeries to make him look more like Liberace. which is just he fucking looks like wild. He does.
Crazy.
Thorson stated that following his plastic surgery, the surgeon provided for him a cocktail of addictive drugs that included.
I had forgotten it was his Behind the Candelabra. He was the one who wrote that book.
Yes. Yeah. It was his story, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thorson stated that this got him addicted to cocaine, Quaaludes, amphetamines, and Demerol. Thorson stated that since he was so young at the time of meeting Liberace, he would do anything that he could to please the penis. Well, he was holding the purse.
He was pleasing that penis.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they lived in Vegas. I think they lived in Vegas and Palm Springs, and it was like, I mean, this dude also,
but was not out of the closet. Not out of the closet.
No. It was a different time. We weren't we weren't allowed to think that people were gay. Like Jim J. Bullock.
Right.
No clue.
No. Just thought it was weird that he was missing a vowel in his name.
Very weird. Weird.
Jim spelled J-M.
So eventually, like Scott Thorson had a hard life. He sued Liberace. I think he might have gotten some settlement, settled out of court. He sued him for $113 million. Ed, what do you think? What do you think Thorson settled for?
Well, he was so desperate. Yeah, I'm gonna say he sued for what, 100-something million?
113.
He settled for $75,000.
Yeah, that's exactly what he settled. That's exactly right.
Really?
Son of a bitch. Yes. Yeah.
Holy shit.
$75,000 plus 3 cars and 3 pet dogs worth another $20,000.
What a guess.
Thorson visited and reconciled with Liberace shortly before the entertainer's death in February 1987. Thorson said after Liberace had died that he settled because he knew that Liberace was dying and that Thorson had intended to sue based on conversion of property, whatever. He had a tough life. I think he was in and out of the joint. He was on drugs.
Lee fucked him up.
Yeah, Liberace was a real piece of shit. Liberace, from Wisconsin, by the way. He was known Wisconsin.
Lee from Scotty.
Yeah, was an American pianist, singer, and actor. Born in Wisconsin, Italian and Polish. How was he? I mean, I guess he was just so rich because of the Vegas. Like, you could get real, like you can today. You can get real rich.
Residencies are just the biggest cash cow.
Yeah, and I think he had like TV shows. You know, he had that
He had TV shows.
Yeah, and he he would just play like. How starved were we for entertainment?
There was a Lawrence Welk show. There were like,
you're right.
When I hear about what was going on before I was we were starved, but what was going on before we were born?
Nothing.
Mind-boggling.
Yes. Unbelievable.
There was like Jason's favorite show, and then a bunch of like really weird shit.
I Love Lucy.
But at least they had a plot. They were trying to do something. There were a lot of shows where you're just like, okay, watch this dude play songs that you're not interested in.
Play the piano. Okay. Ed, let's talk some sports.
My name is Brian. They call me the other guy. I host a podcast show. I'll give hetero life a try. If you see something on my hand that makes you think I'm not a man, it's just my cool rings, you see. They're as sparkly as can be. I might enjoy on DVD.
Ed, what is going on in the world of sports? Oh, you know what I was thinking? I had to ask somebody, but now we can preview it. Next week, our annual NFL preview. Well, I will look back and see what we.
Yeah, we got college football this weekend. I'm going to Maryland to a game.
Stop. That is awesome. Yeah, football starting. We'll do our annual predictions where I will attempt to guess from memory off the top of my head which teams are in which division. Ed, of course, will have to remind me of the names of the divisions because there's like some South and shit and Central and Mountain. There's all weird divisions.
Oh, there's a Netflix thing on the murder of Aaron McNair, Cinnabon.
That's what I heard. And I heard it's kind of like weak sauce. They don't talk about his Cinnabon.
Yeah. But I enjoy stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like,
but it sounds like they didn't get into the meat of it. You know, he wouldn't pay her Escalade payment.
Yes. Well, they talk about it. She was like really desperate for money. Yeah. But they do like throw in a wrinkle of this like full-on conspiracy guy who like he's like, oh, this wasn't the murder, it was somebody else, and and then they just kind of.
Oh, I'm here for that.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that, but like, it was her.
Yeah. This Steve Aaron McNair. I mean, the man had needs. He needed he needed to be having lots of sex a lot of times.
And he was married. Yeah. And the girlfriend thought she was the only girlfriend.
It's weird to me. Like, so Steve McNair, and I haven't watched it, but I know the general facts. He lived in Nashville with his family, and then he had a condo in Nashville that he would do sex to this girl at, and then other girls he would bring there to
not
do
like a
sex.
Super remarkable. It was a fuck pad.
Yeah, it was a fuck pad.
That was what it was.
And that causes me so much anxiety because, like, where does the wife think he is? I read that Bob Hope, who was like, he lived in Toluca Lake, California, and
Dolores?
he had a house in the neighborhood, but here's another example. Bob Hope, so fucking rich. He was like one of the richest men in the world at one point. He was rich.
Big.
He owned several houses in the same neighborhood so that he could just take his golf cart to fuck his mistresses that he had put up in houses in the neighborhood. And to me, that causes me so much anxiety to think.
You have to think
that.
Dolores Hope
She knew.
Just didn't want to.
Yeah.
Boy, I tell you, I'm gonna go play 9 holes. Boy, I tell you.
He'd send her off to the spa, or that's what he would do. He would say he's playing golf, and then he'd go.
That was his whole shtick. He was a lousy golfer, and he would do that whole thing.
Yep. So he'd go. Oh, I was playing golf all day, but then he'd go golf, and then he'd pound out one of his mistresses after the golf, and then come home.
And again, as kids in the 80s, we saw a lot of Bob Hope. Wasn't entertaining.
No.
I liked seeing the All-America football team.
Yeah.
And Brooke Shields. He'd roll her out.
Yeah. He did specials. His whole thing, like, he didn't even have a show. He was a guest on shows, and then he did specials. He wasn't funny.
It's terrible.
Yeah, he was like a host guy.
Letterman told the story. I think Letterman never had on. Johnny would have Bob Hope on, and he hated
his
it.
Guy. Yeah.
He hated it, though. He was just so famous, he had to have him on. But he would be like, so you were over in Lebanon doing a show, and he'd be like, that must have been crazy. And he's like, boy, it sure was. Yeah. And then he'd just sit there, and he'd be like, what?
Yeah, I know.
He was not a good talk show guest. Like, he was super famous, and he wasn't funny.
Wasn't. No, I agree with you 100%. No, I'm 100% with. I just never understood it. And also, he didn't have a show. He just had specials. And like, why was he so? I mean, and also,
but the specials were
comedian.
Just like it would be like the start of college football season, and he'd be like, we're gonna roll out the All-America team, and you would see, random guys. Oh, here's Charles White, and here's and then he would like have a funny, not funny joke. He'd be like, boy, like the books. The books are. I bet you can't wait to do schoolwork, and they'd be like, yeah, cool, buddy. And they'd be like, here's Brooke Shields, so we can look at a 16-year-old.
Yes.
And you were like, what the fuck is going on here? It was so weird.
100%. I totally agree. So what's going on in the world of sports?
We the great Juice, O.J. Simpson, back in the news. His ashes are being turned into cremation jewelry that'll be sold to help pay off the mountain of debt he left behind. So he just did his best to never pay back the Goldmans or lawyers.
Yeah. He was like real mad at them. Yeah. And he only did, so they couldn't touch his pension, which was substantial. I think his pension was at least like $400,000 a year. And for whatever reason, that was not actionable in the settlement. But any other money he made was. And so he would just only do shit for cash. He had everything was in somebody else's name. He just hid the money. But now, my question here is, OJ he's dead. Like somebody else is benefiting from the ashes. Like this are the
well, I think like now he leaves behind a home and stuff like that, and like his family, you don't owe, if your dad owes money, you don't owe what he owes.
No.
But you also don't get access to any of his shit.
Right. Yeah, you can't inherit it because it goes.
So
they
it's
get it
like,
first.
Okay, well, let's turn the juice into a pair of earrings.
Yeah.
To sell that. I can't imagine it's gonna make that much money.
No. Malcolm Laverne. That's another one we should. I mean, we've gotten into it before. Like how starved were we for entertainment that we had to deal with Laverne and Shirley?
Oh, wow.
I mean, that was. We'll talk
Just
about.
Go back to the Shots Brewery. We don't need. We don't need to see them.
OJ's longtime lawyer and now executor of his estate tells TMZ the Juice's remains have been transformed into cremation jewelry, which was divvied up among his 4 adult children. Simpson was cremated back in April following his death, and we're told his kids signed off on having their father's ashes turned into an assortment of jewelry. What?
Michelle already said she will not honor my wishes because I actually put in writing that I want to be cremated and then dumped in the garbage.
Well, that's nice.
She's like, I'm not doing that. I'm like, that's my wish. I don't want anyone to be celebrating an urn or some bullshit jewelry.
But also, I imagine if for some reason, if because by then your Christmas book will probably be a household classic. So that when you're cremated, your ashes will have monetary value, but Michelle won't disgrace your memory by having your ashes turned into commemorative Christmas ornaments that people can hang on, like this. Like, how much did they fucking hate this guy's guts?
He killed mom.
Yeah.
He killed mom.
Well, only 2 of their moms. The other 2. The other one probably helped him, Jason.
Right. But when dad kills mom, there's going to be a tad bit resentment.
Yeah. Do you think they're bummed that they did this before they listened to our show last week and realized they could have used his ashes to turn into a life-size OJ dildo like that girl did with her husband?
Juggalo lady.
Yeah, at the gathering. And then you could go to Canton and you could like sell pictures with the OJ ashes dildo or USC.
I had to take my son to the doctor to just like for a wrist x-ray or MRI. And they have, the posters on the walls. There was just like an anatomy poster of like the bones or whatever, muscles and stuff.
Yeah.
And I looked at that and the doctor's talking to me and I'm thinking about the fucking juggalo penis.
Yeah.
Because I'm just thinking of body parts and I was like, man, that was something else, that hog.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I mean, it was girth. It was a good size. That was a porno dick.
Yeah.
Like it was porno level large. Like this, she was.
And then his dick mold was used to peg, right? That's what she wanted to peg juggalos.
No, we were saying
she wore t-shirts. She said, "I heart pegging juggalos."
That's right. And we were offering up that since we know a guy, Telly Tuput, that enjoys being pegged, she and him could get together and maybe he could be pegged with the juggalo ashes, which is no greater honor.
Oh,
who wouldn't?
The greatest.
Yes, who wouldn't want to be bestowed such an honor? I mean, the Simpson children should have looked into this. Now, okay. It doesn't say where we can buy. And I just feel like Malcolm didn't want to say exactly what kind of jewelry pieces the children got, but typically it's so this is just like for them. Simpson was cremated back in April following his death. We're told into an assortment of jewelry.
I read that they were going to sell it.
Yeah, it's a little vague, but look, we'll keep an eye on this, and something comes out, we might have to make an offer.
I'm still in shock that I guessed the exact settlement amount of Scott Thorson.
113. I thought you'd go six figures at least. I thought you'd be like 180 grand. When you said desperate.
Yeah, but remember the third act of Behind the Candelabra. So he was well into the throes of drug addiction. You make some concessions when you're in that state.
Really good movie. And you know what's sad? Is that there's somebody that I know that there's no bigger fan of Behind the Candelabra, but also he's one of these people that couldn't figure out that there were 2 new shows on his Red Circle last week. So he's never going to hear us discuss Scott Thorson, one of his favorite people on the planet. It actually really bums me out, but hey, I can't help you. I can't do it all. We're already here I'm doing the entertainment. I'm not going to also deliver the fucking entertainment.
Sure. We're doing the heavy lifting now.
Right.
We're not doing more later.
Exactly. Yes.
So the name of the game, college football starts this weekend. Name of the game in college football. And we should all be happy players are being paid, but NIL, it's just beyond Wild West. Nobody knows what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
Well, Colorado, Dion, he just keeps overturning the roster and everything. Colorado,
I believe they won 4 games last year. We talk a lot about Colorado.
Yeah. They won 4 games. I think who did they upset in week 1?
TCU. The Horned Frogs.
People are like, holy shit, they're for real.
Yeah, it turns out the Horned Frogs suck too.
Yeah, they sucked. And like the Pac-12 last year was like a pretty down year before they disbanded the conference.
Exactly.
So it was like, because USC, despite Caleb Williams, they were very flawed, shitty defense, shitty offensive line.
Yes.
UCLA, it just, Oregon was pretty good, but like overall, that was a shitty conference, and they won
4 games,
3 games after that TCU game.
Exactly.
Well, anyway, they figured, I know where's the greatest money fire hose? Saudi Arabia. So they sought NIL funding from their Saudi's PIF this offseason.
I mean, it's pretty shrewd.
It's shrewd.
I mean, somebody's going to take it.
They're taking like guys like Neymar. Some of these like famous soccer guys are going to Saudi through this PIF. It's like, all right, we're just gonna buy all these expensive guys.
I heard they just offered some dude $1 billion.
Yeah. What's his name?
Is he like African? He's a black guy.
Wait, did they offer it Vinicius?
Yes, that sounds right.
I think he's a winger for Real Madrid.
Yeah, they said it was like $240 million a year or something to play in the Saudi league.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of like, I think they're getting a lot of like guys who have already been in these leagues. They're in their late 20s. Like Neymar, his career is on the downslope.
Sure.
And so it's like, all right, but he's a huge name, so we're going to buy him and stuff like that. Like
they got Ronaldo,
that
beautiful
kind of
statue that he's got. Now, do they have to, when Ronaldo comes to Saudi Arabia, do they need to like, you go to prison and they got to delouse you? When Ronaldo comes in, do they need to like coat him in something that takes away the HPV, or like what is he just, because you can't just have that come into your country.
Right. They haven't seen a penis that's been used that much.
Yeah, he's got new strains. There's like
that's right.
They're pretty close.
Like the problem, if you have a time machine, you're gonna encounter things that like just you're not used to, this strain of a flu or something like that. That's the real danger of a time machine.
Yes.
Where you think you're just going to go kill baby Hitler.
I didn't even think about that.
You go kill baby Hitler. Well, people have diseases that, sorry, Hitler's going to have to stay alive because you're going to die before you can kill him.
You're going to catch some shit. I never even thought about that. That is actually a great idea.
It's a great line from Woody Allen when they said, "What era in history would you like to live?" And he goes, "Anytime after the polio vaccine."
Yes. Yeah, you don't want to, because that shit was just around. Smallpox.
You would just get. Didn't you get polio from like going to the community swimming pool?
Yes.
That was like kids would like their summer break. They'd be like, "Oh shit, half your class got polio."
Just slipping in the gutter, there was not like there was shit or just around. You would just encounter shit. No, that's why they had 8-9 kids, because 3 or 4 of them were going to succumb.
And best case scenario, they'd turn into a FDR, just be wheelchair bound.
Yeah.
Have to like put metal rods on your legs to walk.
Yeah, put the blanket over his lap. After resigning as CU special teams coordinator on August 1st, Trevor Riley went on. See, here's the thing. College football has always been such a slimy business. And now it's like, now they're allowed to be kind of slimy. So it's even worse.
So they're like, oh, it worked for Live Golf.
Yeah. Yes. Boxing.
Let's get that Saudi money. Yeah. Yes. Boxing.
Yeah.
Boxing is all Saudi money now.
Yeah. Riley said he spent time in the Middle East this past holiday season lobbying Saudi Arabia's public investment fund for name, image, and likeness funding to benefit CU football. A copy of what Riley says was in his room. Okay, blah, blah, blah. But look, if you're the Saudis and you're trying to sports wash yourself, like you're going to Bama, right? Like you're Notre Dame. FSU. You want like the big names in the game, not Colorado.
Right. Cordell Stewart was a long time ago.
Yes. Rashawn Salam is not walking through that door, I think, because he took his own life.
Probably the reason. So. Yeah, that's one reason he's not walking through the door.
What else is going on, Ed?
Well, so that didn't work to get the Saudi money.
Yeah.
But Mike Gundy, of his mullet fame.
Yeah. Beautiful hair.
They have a great lettuce. They have a clever idea. They can get NIL money.
Yeah.
Each of their helmets this fall will have QR codes so people can scan, which people will scan and donate. But how many? You know how hard it is to read that menu to pull it up?
I can't scan a QR code when it's fucking on the table in front of me. You think I'm going to get it off the TV? Yes.
Oh, my guy's helmet moving around like.
And now look, I happen to love the Oklahoma State Cowboy uniforms. I like the colors. I like all the different combinations. I like Mike Gundy. I would say I might be an Oklahoma State fan. But this is some fucking small time thinking. Oh, let's do a QR code. How about you fucking go knock on T. Boone Pickens' door and say, give us $100 million? Like
he died, I think.
He's got to be dead, right?
I think he died. I think that's it. They're like, we don't have T. Boone Pickens anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's got to be somebody else in Oklahoma.
Got oil money. Sure.
Oh yeah, he didn't make it to the COVID-19 pandemic. September 11th, 2019.
He died on September 11th?
Yeah, Boone Pickens. R.I.P.
He was oil, right?
He was oil, but then he was trying to make the Midwest the Saudi Arabia of wind, but it turns out it's expensive to build those fucking wind things, and they're ugly, and then they don't last that long. So he was kind of wrong on that, but he was so fucking rich anyway. Once you're that rich, you just keep getting richer. He didn't have to fucking come up with any new bullshit.
Yeah. But the best way to get really rich is to have a lot of money.
Yeah. Yes. Start out.
That's the best way.
It's foolproof.
I should write a book about this.
Yes, you should. Okay, let's do some voicemails. This is the one that's going to get us kicked off for sure.
He's so easy to hate. Your time he likes to waste. His calls are far from great. His calls are far from great. He's such a stupid fuck. He seems down on his luck. His voicemails really suck. His voicemails really suck. No one's enjoying him. He's so annoying.
so fucking boring
and worthless, but he's got nothing else to do. And he's even worse than Ish. His faults are useless shit.
Or Ish.
I just want to say, on the TV,
yes,
Ozempic commercial, which the earworm will never go away. But I paused it just to look.
Is that it?
Yeah. Ozempic.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But
tell me.
Common side effects. They do that. Nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, stomach pain, constipation. Then at the bottom it says, drinking plenty of fluids may reduce your chances of dehydration. What the fuck does that have to do with Ozempic?
That's just in general.
That's like a rule for life.
That's just in general. Yeah, you got to drink a lot.
You're going to be thirsty unless you drink.
Yes. Well, they got to cover all their bases, Ed,
Right.
Big Pharma. Okay. Couple of voicemails here.
Hey, boys, it's Law.
Hello. How's you?
Looking good on YouTube. Ed, it's like a damn movie star with glorious locks of hair.
I gave myself a haircut.
The home haircuts, I don't know how, but they're working.
Looks great.
And, he looks great. He's a beautiful man. Mm-hmm. And Brian is Brian. So.
See, that's...
Anyway, good seeing you guys on YouTube. Enjoy the show. Mm-hmm. I'm driving back home from being on the road working, so it's kind of hard to watch and drive, but multitasking. Brian, there's a do not disturb or something on your damn iPhone that
hold on. A lot of people were talking about this last week. I do turn on the do not disturb. Okay, it's on. Here's the issue. I have a second. So what I'm playing the voicemails from is a second. I'm not going to move it because it's going to come unplugged. Just trust me. And for years, I've been using this Chromebook, which is a piece of shit.
Yeah, it's like a very cheap laptop. Like my kids have one for school.
Yeah, it's just to get you on the internet, which is all I need. But it's so laggy when I go to play anything. It drove me crazy. So I went and I went to a computer store and bought a refurbished MacBook so that I could have all Macs going here.
Right.
And they're all linked together through my Apple ID. I shouldn't have to explain this. Yeah. And I turned on the do not disturb, but I had just started using this one. And for whatever reason, the texts were still coming through. I've solved that issue. We're back.
I don't hear anything tonight.
I mean, you may later, but I don't know. Sometimes it happens. I don't know. So I do the best I can.
To turn on during the show to stop the notifications from coming through and calm that anger down before you have a stroke. You don't look like you're in the best of health, so
Jesus
I don't want to hear the rest in peace for you because you stroked out because you're angry.
Oh man!
Anyway,
LSU's coming at me.
I didn't know what the hell you were talking about with the street musician in Louisiana, but I looked through my sent emails and found it was the Big Freedia.
Never heard of her.
Which I don't know how you don't know who that is. I'm sure most of the listeners have heard of
No one's heard of
her
Big Freedia
before. And I thought you were hip, but I guess you're not. So, anyway, guys, enjoy the show. Keep them coming.
LSU really came after me this week because
he was a bit mean, but also he doubled down on Big Freedia. No,
Big Freedia.
knows who Big Freedia is.
I mean, I'm not even going to play that. That's a thing that happened. Wait, is she like a drag? Wait, Freddie Ross Jr., better known by his it's a guy by his stage name Big Freedia, is an American rapper and performer known for his work in the New Orleans hip hop genre bounce music. You think I'm fucking in on the bounce scene? LSU?
46 years old.
Yeah, 2011 he was named Best Emerging Artist. 2013 he's got his own
Big
show.
Freedia was like part of, because it says people also search for RuPaul. Is this like part of RuPaul's Drag Race?
Well,
stuff?
It looks like it, yeah, because it's a he, but he goes by Big Freedia. So I think there could be a drag. Look, this is not my world, LSU. You don't have to be a jerk about it, guy. I'm just over here hosting a podcast, and you tell me I look unhealthy.
Lashed out.
Jeez. Doing the best I can over here.
Big Freedia.
Yeah, because I don't know who Big Freedia is. Here's another one. Thank you for that, LSU. We love you. Here's another one.
Thank you, LSU.
Hey guys, what's up? Just
David Bray.
Watched you guys. You guys look great. Great job with that. You and Ed. Anyway, as far as my medical situation, I just came back from my MRI. What's going on is, guys, and that's I'll leave it at that. My two of the chambers of my heart are only pumping 1/3 of the blood that a normal man my age.
Ooh,
this must be an issue with David Bray's big penis too, because you need
when he gets that erection, all of a sudden it's like, where's all the blood going?
Yeah, not enough blood. Guys die from that. That's a concern. Sure. You don't get a hard on, Dave.
Should be getting. So I was fainting and stuff like that. A week from today, we're going to figure out surgery, whatever. So it'll all be taken care of. So that's what it is with my heart that was happening.
Hey, hold on. Before you get to the rest of it, we're thinking about you, buddy. We love you. We're in your corner. We know everything's going to work out for you. You're a survivor. Keep us updated on your situation.
Take care of that ticker.
That's right.
Anyway, whoever this sling blade / bozo / putz is, that this flight attendant, he must work for Spirit, because that would be an awful job, because there's melees on those flights. You have 50-50 chance of a fight going on, or a brawl, and shit being thrown at you. So Delta flight attendants, and I'm sure American, but Delta flight attendants say this is the easy. Why don't you come be a flight attendant? It's the easiest job in the world. And a lot of them have been gate agents.
That's right.
Ticket agents, then you want to be a gate agent once you're more proficient in your skills. But they're like, this is so easy. They said, yes, you have to go to training, which is hard, swim test. But
you got to swim?
The chance of that shit happening.
Swim test?
Fucking swim test? Casey.
I didn't think that anyone believed that you'd survive if the plane crashes in the ocean.
I mean, use the fucking seat cushion. Come on.
That's all the filler that we just ignore.
Fucking seat cushion is like 10 inches by 10 inches. I weigh 230 pounds. Do you think that's going to, how long is that going to float me?
As you're crossing the Atlantic to go to Europe, and they're like, just hang on to this seat cushion.
Yeah.
So you can die a little bit slower.
Like that Air France flight on the way to Brazil that one time. It was at the bottom of the Atlantic. Come on.
Tell everybody to get in crash positions or put on your seatbelt. That's just, what is that? That's 2% of the job. The rest of that shit is being a sky waitress. What would you like? Pretzels or peanuts? Coke? Or would you like a cocktail? That's all it is. They are waitresses in the sky. They will tell you that, man or woman. So I don't know why. The problems happen before getting on the plane. The plane's going to Orlando, and a pissed off mom will come up and say, me and my 5 kids, we're separated. We're going to Disney World. And I want to say, look around. The whole fucking plane is going to Disney, ma'am. You're not the only one with little kids. So you know the shit I have to deal with out there. So I don't know what. Once the door to the plane shuts, there's nothing going on. They can't.
Yep.
They can't cause that much shit. I guess unless you're on Spirit or maybe Southwest, but I don't know. It kind of irritated me because it's an easy fucking job. You're a waitress in the fucking airplane for an hour to 4 hours, depending how far the flight is. All right, guys, I love you. Take care. See ya.
Well, look, it's about time he answered, because I was hoping we'd get a response to the flight attendant Dawn's allegations that she had the most difficult job in the airline business, to which David Bray says no.
We tried to exalt both of them and talk about how they were.
I appreciate
he only
everyone.
Wants one. Yeah,
I appreciate everyone at the airport.
Yeah, we thought maybe you would kind of bond together over the problem with pilots who can't even land at Jackson Hole Airport.
That's right. Yes, yeah. We know the pilots are the biggest pieces of shit.
Yeah,
they're glorified bus drivers. The fuck, it's fly by wire. The fucking plane does it all itself.
I remember the New York Times, somebody did a poll a couple years ago, and they're like, how many people think if everybody dropped dead, and they're like, can somebody land this plane? Like the percentage of men that thought they could do it, it was like 70% of men
Mark
are like,
Wahlberg.
I could land the plane, and
No,
like
fuck that.
all the pilots are like, no, everyone would die.
Yes,
if
of
there were no
course.
pilots.
Of course.
Have you seen all the instruments? They'd be like, pick the third instrument and turn
There's
it to this.
Lights on the ceiling and shit
There's
in there.
too much-
Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Oh, here's a gauge. There's a. What about that one gauge under your foot? Check the gauge under your foot. Yeah. Oh, get the switch underneath your left nut. No, not your right nut. Get the switch. Like, come
don't
on.
do that. You just dumped all the fuel.
Yes, come on. Get the fuck out of here. Way too complicated. Okay, here's one more. Then we're gonna wrap it up. And then Red Circle subscribers, you got the bonus show on your phone already. You listen to, then you get the bonus show. You get all the extra stuff we talk about. Just Ed and I just doing it for the people that love it. See, it got dark in here, and it's starting to get dark. And you got a little more ambiance. See, I got these lights,
Yeah.
Ed.
I didn't notice the lights originally.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so pretty soon, we're gonna set the clocks forward, and assuming you don't turn on the camera one day and see my feet because I'm dangling from the ceiling via my belt. It'll be dark in here, and then it'll get a little more vibey. You know, it's just we do it at a weird time of day, and I get a lot of ambient light. So
I'm afraid all you're gonna get is the
you look great
monitor from a Peloton.
Yeah, but you got a dark room
over there.
You're good. Yeah. I can't. You don't want to see the Ball Lifestyle World Headquarters. Like just right there, right here, right out of scene.
It's the workbench.
Yeah. You get a lot of that sound right there. This, and then one time we did the show, a couple times we did the show. Travis Rogers sat right here. He was right, and he was like this the whole time. He was like looking over because he knew.
You were saying if you could smell things.
Yeah. He knew my essence. Yeah, he knew my essence was there, and he was like kind of like leaning away from it. Like, what's going on over there? I'm not too sure about that. Okay, one more voicemail.
Hi guys, Katie Shady here. In regards to the deaf proctologist, which I guess he's a proctologist, or colonoscopy people, proctologist. Anyway.
Yes, probably. Yeah. They put stuff. Yeah, he was there. Yeah. We talked about a deaf proctologist last week. Yeah, and he couldn't. he couldn't hear screaming. His patient was screaming in pain. Yeah.
I have a very dear friend who, not Jeannie Bueller, not Brian's super hot girlfriend,
right?
But she was going in for her first colonoscopy, and she talked to nurses to see if she really had to be put under general anesthesia, because she didn't want to lose her entire day to like this 15-minute procedure.
What a psycho.
And
your friend is a psychotic person.
Yes.
Like that's a free spot on the board. Like you're not doing anything that day. You're gonna go, you're gonna get the thing up your ass, you're gonna come to, and then you're gonna go get a burrito or a sub because you haven't eaten all day.
Yeah, I had pizza.
Yeah, pizza. Delicious. Great idea.
Because nurses are crazy people. We're like, no, it should be fine. Like, it doesn't, they could just do local. It's not really that big of a deal. So she decided that she wasn't going to go under general anesthesia for this. Nobody told her doctor. So he goes inside to do the colonoscopy.
I'm listening. Talk slower.
On her side with her bare butt.
Okay. Yeah.
He walks in there and he's like, let's get this show on the road. Yeah. And then slaps her butt super duper hard. And she's awake and she screams. And it scared him so bad he fell on the floor. So then she had to reschedule her colonoscopy. Anyway, some things you should just do when you're asleep, and a colonoscopy is one of them. Bye.
What? I mean, that is the greatest story I think I've ever heard. And look, I'm not proud of this. it's mildly sexually arousing to me, what she just told me. Like, that's, it's like, it's not nice, but it is what it is. That's quite a story. Okay, let's wrap it up there. For Ed Daly, my name is Brian Beckner. Tune in to if you're a Red Circle subscriber, or if you're not, click the link in the show notes and sign up, and tune in to hear the bonus show coming up next. We'll see you next week.
Goodbye.
I mean, it doesn't really, like, then you're just looking at us, the outro song.
Yeah, what are we?
Hey, we're still here. We just got to sit
like the
here.
Carol Burnett show.
Yeah. Chips where it would like pause and they'd be like,
you freeze like,
yeah, and then they get back to it. Oh no, I'm not starting it over. Okay, love you guys. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Goodbye.